Yep, that's me. You might be wondering how we got into this situation. This is the Battle Frontiers Battle Tower. This facility is available in the post-game of all of the Generation 4 games, and if you're a ribbon collector like me, you're well familiar with this place. At the counter, the player can sign up for one of 5 different battle challenges, each with unique ribbons to claim for their Pokemon if they do well enough. There's the Singles mode, Doubles mode, NPC multi-battle, Link multi-battle, and finally the Wi-Fi battle. Now 4 of these 5 modes work exactly how anyone who's familiar with battle facilities would think they work. You go in with a team of however many Pokemon the format allows and battle NPCs who draw their Pokemon from a set pool. But the Wi-Fi tower sticks out as a particular sore spot for anyone who's dared to face it, and to see why, we need to talk about how it works. The Wi-Fi tower was a mode that used the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection service, which shut down back in 2014. This meant that for a while, it wasn't possible to challenge it anymore as the servers that maintained it were no longer active. After some tinkering, however, fans were able to set up servers that would resurrect the old Nintendo Wi-Fi connection ways, allowing for things like the GTS and Wi-Fi tower to operate once more. This tower doesn't use the traditional win streak system of the other modes. When you challenge the tower, you start at rank 1, and in each rank there are 50 rooms of 7 trainers. Each room can be challenged once per player per day, and when you beat a room completely, you rank up, to a maximum of rank 10. If you lose too many battles in a row without winning an entire room, you'll rank down. The number you need to lose without a win to rank down varies depending on the rank, going as far as ranking down after a single loss at rank 10. Ribbon collectors familiar with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl's Tower Master Rune might recognize this as the same system that was adapted into the Masterclass mode in the remakes. Unlike BDSP's version, however, you will earn the World Ability ribbon on your team if you manage to win a room in rank 4 and above each time you are promoted to rank 5 and onwards. So now that we know how it's laid out, who actually populates the tower? Unlike in the other modes, the NPCs you face in the Wi-Fi tower were already there even before you downloaded the room. Every battle you'll be pitted against an AI marionette of someone else who challenged the Wi-Fi tower before you. After a challenge, the game sends up the results to the server, which then puts a copy of the team that was used into the room. Where the copy ends up depends entirely on how well the player did on their run, being placed just under the trainer they lost to, or at the very end of the room if they beat all 7 trainers in a row. Each room also keeps track of the last 30 trainers who cleared it, which you can download and view on the blue terminal to the right. So on paper, we have a battle tower that's pretty much full of optimized teams of Generation 4's best and brightest, including Latios, Scizor, Metagross, Garchomp, and enough Suicune to put Pokemon Crystal on top of the sales charts, making this tower an obnoxious slog when everyone is bringing their A-game. But here's the real problem. There is no validation for what moves the Pokemon on a Challenger's team had, at all. This means there's quite a few nasty combos you'll become familiar with, such as No Guard Machamp with one-hit KO moves, Ninjask with Spore, and up until recently, Regigigas with huge power or Spiritomb with Wonder Guard. Depending on the fan server you use, this still may be true, but the server will be using Pokemon Classic patched in ability validation in February 2023. And that's basically the state of the Wi-Fi tower, considered to be the guardian of one of the hardest ribbons to acquire. But you've seen the video title. What's changed about the Wi-Fi tower and made this ribbon so easy? Welcome one and all to Room 2, and the easiest battle tower ribbon you'll ever earn. See, there's a certain team that was built for the Wi-Fi tower by the Pokemon Ribbons community. Some call it Double D-Bond, others call it Gengar Frostlass, but I like to call this team Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girlboss. Using an ingenious mixture of counter Gengar from Gen 3, followed by an extremely fast Destiny Bond, we can take out 2 of the opponent's Pokemon with our lead. Frostlass is our second Destiny Bond user and is as fast as Gengar, and we can use them to finish the opponent's last Pokemon, or use Sucker Punch and Ice Beam to pick up any stragglers that Gengar missed. Skarmory blocks out stall Pokemon with Toxic and Taunt, and ruins Sheer Cold Machamp's day with the Sturdy ability, finally leveraging that immunity to Oko moves that no one seems to respect after Gen 5. This team thrives in the Wi-Fi tower, and leverages the aggressive AI and hyper-offense strategies that have made up the metagame throughout the floors. Using this team, and with some help from fellow Pokemon Ribbons user Y Lambda, we have defeated this room over and over again, and completely taken over Room 2 of the Pokemon Classic Network's Wi-Fi tower by taking the top spot of the room in each rank 7 times. And that's where the true genius of this team shines. This team beats itself, but only when piloted by a human. which means if you build the team that I show you in this video, you will be able to soar through the Wi-Fi tower and earn that world ability ribbon in no time, and keep the room running for anyone else who follows after. This process might seem a little bit convoluted, but trust me, it is worth it. The first Pokemon up is Gengar, who has the biggest hurdle of assembling this team as they must have maximum speed. This will be necessary to outspeed any opposing AI Frostlass on this team and secure the Destiny Bond against her. Breeding for speed is pretty easy in Generation 4. First, catch a bunch of Ghastly at your haunted location of choice until you get one with a perfect 31 speed IV. There's an IV judge in the battle tower that you can use alongside some online calculators, but it's about a 1 in 32 chance. Then, in Heart Gold or Soul Silver, give that Pokemon a power anklet and place it in the daycare. Next, find an opposite gender Ghastly or Ditto that has a speed boosting nature, either jolly, timid, naive, or hasty, and give them an Everstone. With this pair, your Ghastly eggs will have a 50-50 chance of inheriting the speed boosting nature, and will always inherit the perfect speed stat of their parent. Once you have one of these Ghastly, train it up to have 252 EVs in special attack, and 252 in speed. If you're looking into the hardest ribbon of the Gen 4 Battle Tower, I'm sure you're familiar with EV training at this point. Otherwise, you can look up plenty of guides. Finally, Gengar's moveset consists of Shadow Ball, Sucker Punch, and Destiny Bond, and it holds a Focus Sash as its item. When you get into each battle, you'll immediately use Shadow Ball on the opposing Gengar. It'll be a 50-50 as to who gets to use Shadow Ball first, but this coin flip is ultimately meaningless as it just serves to put you both down to 1 HP with your Focus Sashes. On turn 2, choose Sucker Punch. You might think this is another coin flip as to who gets to use Sucker Punch first, but it turns out the AI will never use Sucker Punch here, instead always going for Shadow Ball for some reason. This strange decision is why human players can beat this team in the mirror match, but the AI copies can't. Next up is Frostlass. Frostlass's exact stats don't matter quite as much as Gengar's, but you do need its speed to be anywhere between 119 and 177 at level 50. It takes a very slow Frostlass to be under 119, and 178 is as fast as Frostlass can possibly be, so any Frostlass that isn't purpose-bred and trained to be outside this range will likely suffice. It will be tricky to know exactly where yours is after you finish training, as you'll need to be at least level 59 to learn Destiny Bond, which is crucial to Frostlass's moveset. So use a stat calculator to check what your stats would be at level 50 if you're not sure. Frostlass's required moves are Taunt, Destiny Bond, and Ice Beam. Back to our mirror match after Sucker Punch, Gengar can use Destiny Bond before Frostlass gets a turn, allowing Gengar to drag her down with it and score 2 KOs with 1 Pokemon. This is why it's crucial that your Frostlass falls into the expected speed range to allow Gengar to move first. Finally, we have Skarmory, who is a bit of a sitting duck on this team as a set created to obliterate hacked Pokemon, of which we have none. Because they're a necessity to help clean up the room, this is why Frostlass has Taunt in order to secure the matchup when fighting against this team. If your opponent's third Pokemon is Skarmory, simply taunt it so it can't use any moves except counter, and then chip away at it with Ice Beam, reapplying Taunt anytime it wears off. Skarmory is actually your flex slot where you'll put your ribbon Pokemon, but I must stress this very important step. If you are using this room for your ribbon Pokemon, remove all damaging moves with increased priority, and have your Pokemon hold a full Incense or a Lagging Tail. If you don't have either, you can have your Pokemon hold a Macho Brace, a Power Item, or an Iron Ball. These items will allow another player's Frostlass to use Destiny Bond before the AI-controlled version of your ribbon Pokemon and take them out. And that's it. By following these instructions, your team, once copied over to the Wi-Fi tower, will also be perfectly suited to helping other ribbon collectors up into the lofty echelons of rank 5. I will note that Room 2 in rank 5 and above have not been cleaned in this manner, nor have any of the 49 other rooms in rank 1 through 4. Y Lambda and I have left every other room alone and only taken over the rooms that are absolutely necessary to help lift others up with us. If you want the authentic Wi-Fi tower slog, the other 496 rooms of the tower await. And if you would like to use Room 2 rank 4 again, you simply have to lose enough battles in rank 5 to rank down once more. And finally, if you see anyone in Room 2 who isn't using this team, feel free to @me in the Pokemon Ribbons Discord so we can fix it and allow other people to enjoy this finally easy, yet once nigh impossible ribbon as well. Hopefully this helps you all in your ribbon journeys. And thanks for watching.